is the idea of intellectual authority, or not even intellectual, but like who is seen as an authority in your life, or a mentor, for example.
Mm.
And I think in our society, people are looking for that. Do they have a master's or do they have a PhD? How many books have they written? Are they an MD? And they want to know, like, okay, he has done this, this, and this, or she has written this many books. Therefore, she's an authority,
Mm.
or I trust her to tell me these things.
Right.
Whereas what's interesting with like just us sitting here talking about life, some people might not be open to, oh, these guys can't be an authority at all
Mm.
about like wisdom and life and how can I improve. Because I think people really, and they don't want, they say that they want the new car or they want the new job, but those are just like empty pits of what they truly want, or like they're distracting. They're red herrings for what you actually want,
Mm.
which you might not have cognized yet, but it's this deep-seated desire for happiness.
Yeah.
And that's really what people want. Is there's two things which I think there's very similar. Is I want more happiness and I want less suffering.
Mm.
That's deep. That's deeply what is part of human nature. Is that, and when someone like me, for example, who doesn't have a PhD in anything, um, I might not be seen as an authority in anything that could be seen as like useful.
Hmm.
For maybe you're studying economics or physics, and like, yeah, I don't have a PhD in those things, but does anybody in our that you know have a PhD in life? It's like, well, it's not possible.
Yeah.
So one thing I would argue is like, I mean, I could say that, yeah, I studied philosophy in college, for example. That might make me somewhat of an authority, but really I've learned much more about philosophy outside of philosophy class and discovering life on my own. And I think some people have the privilege and the talent and the passion for learning just about raw life. And I think these people are found kind of at the margins of society, but you might get lucky and stumble upon a YouTube channel or a book or something where someone's being extremely vulnerable and honest about just life. So I think the most wise people are extremely vulnerable about the little intricacies of their problems and their successes in life, and that comes from that rawness or that wildness of the individual.
Yeah. Well, and I think the best, like the best authority, you can never be claiming fully that what I know is true.
Right.
So you're not like you're still maintaining humility.
Right.
To learn, you have to have humility. Obviously, on some level, we're subconsciously claiming that I have the truth. Like that's how we live, right?
That's I think that's part of being human.
It's part of being human.
Yeah.
But also to engage in this process to this is the paradox.
Yeah.
Simultaneously be saying that, well, there's got to be something more that I'm missing. And that process, like engaging in that, we can't underestimate the value of that, because it's to be driven in that is to be honest in like grappling with the foundation of the universe and grappling with what does life mean and all of these really big questions.
Right.
And that puts us in this position, I think, to experience life, to like live life, and to not deny responsibility where we should be taking responsibility, and not become lazy in pursuit of something greater, or pursuit of truth. And that's really the whole point of life.
Right.
Really? Or right? I mean, so to be present and walk willingly into the space of saying, well, I want to learn, that is the greatest authority, because it, without telling you, tells you, where to go, oddly. But it's not an authoritarian.
Like, an intuition.
Yeah, that's a really good way to say it.
Yeah.